Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Tay. Today I'm taking a look at the HTC U11. You know what? The HTC U12 Plus for y'all. It looks exactly the same. Feels almost exactly the same. So it's pretty much the same. But this is the HTC U12 Plus, the 2018 flagship phone from HTC. Early spoiler alert. I do not recommend you buy this phone at all. Unless you can get it at like a good decent price. I wouldn't pay any more than like $500 for it. But this starts off at $800 and the next model up is $850. The difference is the storage. This for $800 comes with 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of onboard storage. The $850 version comes with 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs. They both have micro SD card expansion, so it's good if you want to throw a card in, so you don't even have to get the $50. Pay the extra $50 for the $850 one. It comes in 3 colors. This is the black color here, blue, which is fire. It looks amazing, and it definitely has like a see-through look to it. And then they also have a red version. They are all available on all 4 carriers. You can get the unlocked version also. So this phone has a Snapdragon 845 processor, which is the most common and well the fastest and the most recent flagship processor from Qualcomm, and used in all of the other Android phones this year. But it's running Sense. It looks exactly the same as like Sense on all your other devices. They finally gave Sense an update last year, and all they really did was round the icons, as you can see, which isn't really much of anything. You still have blank feed. If you swipe to the left, you can turn it on and off, thankfully. It comes with a 12 megapixel camera. It also has a telephoto camera. So the regular camera on here is 1.8 for the aperture. The telephoto is 2.2 or 2.4, I believe. This back camera is capable of recording 4K at 60 frames per second, but there's a 6-minute limit, which is completely trash. The optical stabilization with the 60 frames per second isn't that good. So most of the time, if I want to record video with this, I would just use the 1080 60 frames per second, which is a shame, because with a phone that costs this much money, you would actually want to record in the highest resolution as possible to get as many details, but the 4K has a limit. So if you're recording longer than 6 minutes, you're gonna have to record multiple times and stitch the footage together, which can be a nuisance. The front-facing camera, there's two lenses on here this time, and it's just to give you portrait mode. I actually think the camera on last year's HTC U11 and U11 Plus was better than these two. They didn't offer portrait mode, but I think the clarity that it took with the pictures and the selfies were a lot better. The portrait mode on this phone, there's portrait on the front and back. They both suck. That's the best way to put it. This phone is pretty bare bone. It doesn't have much going for it. Like I said, the Sense UI hasn't changed really at all, except for the rounded icons. So with this phone is nice because they are like switching to navigation buttons at the on-screen navigation buttons instead of those capacitive ones. So it's really nice, and you can customize these. So instead of just having home, back, and recent, you can add like screenshots and get to the notifications and one-handed gesture mode. So it's really nice and convenient. Another convenience feature that they have on here is whenever you're on any of your home screens, you can just swipe down and get to your notifications. Really nice, because this phone is super long, it's super tall, so it's hard to reach at the top of the phone and drag down the notifications, so it's nice to swipe anywhere. I really wish HTC would have gave us the options, at least in settings, to turn on and off the ability to use the fingerprint scanner to swipe down on the notifications. That is more helpful to me, because I'm holding the phone, my finger is already in that position or close to it. Then I actually have to switch my thumb over and do it. And you can only do this on one of the home screens, which sucks. Right, so another nice feature for like ergonomics and usability is the ability to double tap on the side of the phone, just like this, right? And when you double tap on the phone, it's gonna bring the phone down to one-handed mode. You can double tap on the side, it'll bring it down to one-handed mode. You can then see like your screen, shrunk it down, you can resize it. You can actually move it to the left or right side of the screen, whichever side, you use your left hand or your right hand. So it's really nice when you need to reach things and it's a little bit too far. The next thing for like ergonomics is the squeeze functionality. So it's EdgeSense 2. What's nice about EdgeSense is that you can customize a short squeeze and a long squeeze. And so for the short squeeze, my short squeeze takes me to the camera, and once I like squeeze to get into the camera, I can take a photo with the camera by squeezing again. So it's really nice and convenient. You also have this gesture where you can just twist your wrist like so, and it'll switch from the front and the rear camera. Now, my long press, I have it set to give me the EdgeSense launcher, and here you can like scroll through and see what other apps or like shortcuts you want to put on here, and you also get a view of the calendar and the actual day's date. So it's really nice. You can customize this to do so many things as far as like turning on and off your flashlight, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, opening certain. Those are like the nice features on the phone as far as ergonomics, and the EdgeSense stuff is probably like the highlight feature of the phone. Like being able to squeeze it is really nice and convenient, right? So other than that, it does have a 6-inch LCD screen. It gets decently bright, decently dim, but not dim enough, not bright enough either. But I can, the brightness is okay. It's a little less bright than the U11, but it's definitely brighter than the U11 Plus, way brighter. But it isn't the brightest smartphone out there. And then what else can I really say about this? The battery life isn't the greatest either. You want to get around 4 hours of screen on time, which is pretty trash from a phone of this size. I did have the U11 Plus last year, and I was able to get anywhere between 5 and 7 hours screen on time. So to come down to 4 with a phone that is basically like a carbon copy and is actually thicker, right? This phone is almost 10 millimeters thick, and the battery life isn't that great. So I'm at 4% right now. It has 4 hours and 16 minutes of screen on time, which is decent, but once again, for a phone of this size, and it is just not for this price. Not for this price, it's not worth it. So if I can like conclude and wrap this up, it's like nice phone, nice looking phone. It's a little heavy. The brightness could be a little better. The screen dimness level could be a little better. The audio is good. Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Tay. I know it's been a while since I dropped a video, so I'm happy to be back. Today I'm actually doing a video, just the first impressions of this MX vertical mouse that was just put out by Logitech. Hope you guys can see it. Like it's info with. The EdgeSense 2 is good, but that actually, I guess I'm gonna leave this on the bad note, because the one other thing, so the camera is good, except for the 60 frames per second, 6-minute limit. But the buttons, like everything else on the phone, I could pretty much do, right? But the buttons on this joint are horrible, right? Now this phone is IP68, right? So it can last 30 minutes in 3 feet of water versus last year's U11, U11 Plus, IP67, 1.5 feet, right? So they upped that, but they did that at the cost of like removing real buttons and put in these like prototypes, basically. I'm just gonna call these prototype buttons. because they clearly didn't test these joints out with real users to see how this would be in day-to-day usage. These buttons suck. They're horrible. They're the worst thing ever on like a smartphone. Like, I don't understand how you get something very essential like this wrong. And I know they pushed out the update, but it isn't. It's not acceptable for $800 because the update doesn't fix the issues totally. So with the volume up button, the volume up button is the button that gives me the most trouble on this device. It's super hard to turn up the volume. I feel like only the bottom half of the volume up button works most of the time. The top half, like, sometimes it works whenever it really feels like it. And you know, you find yourself just pressing and nothing happening. Nothing at all, no feedback, nothing on the screen. You just pressing, you feel stupid, like you just pressing the side of your phone, just pressing it, right? But then the volume button will work nice, but then like you gotta like really dig your thumb into it. The power button is also very troublesome. The double tap to open the camera feature is basically useless because you don't feel anything when you try to tap it twice. Sometimes it opens the camera, sometimes it doesn't. Like, these buttons are horrible. They really kill a phone. And if I was you, I would definitely skip this. If you want a phone that's similar to HTC, just get a One Plus. My actual first recommendation would be a Pixel because I've actually used Pixel phones extensively. I haven't had a One Plus in years, but I do know with their software and consistency, they're a lot better than what HTC is really pushing out at this point. And sad to say, I can't recommend this phone to y'all. And another like bad thing is the face unlock. So just think about it. So the fingerprint scanner is nice. It's a decent speed. It's not the fastest, but it's a decent speed. It's still fast. It's not the fastest. But the actual face unlock is trash. Most of the time, it doesn't recognize my face, even in good lighting. It's not good. It's not. It's like, you know, when Android like solid years ago, and like they already had face unlock, but nobody was talking about it. But it worked decent, but most of the time it didn't. I think that's what HTC did with this facial unlock that they have on here. It's straight trash. It's like, I would say like it works like 60% of the time. Like, that's a fair number to give it 60% of the time. So I'm just overall disappointed with this HTC device. I held out the longest from actually getting it. I only had it for like a week. I'm definitely gonna be getting rid of it. If you guys want to see some like coverage on anything about the phone, like maybe like the Edge Sense 2, customizing the navigation keys, or anything with the phone, just let me know in the comments. I'll try to make a quick video. So stay on the lookout. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up if you thought it was helpful. Let me know if y'all have the HTC U12 Plus. What's your experience been like? How's your button experience been? Just what do you guys feel about the phone? And are you still interested in the phone after seeing this? Thank y'all for watching. Once again, subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you didn't. And it's your boy Tay signing out. Peace.